Poleshift alert, discussing time, how much time we have left, and we have all the time in the world to do it. We're going to start right here. The South Atlantic anomaly is nowadays one of the most important features in Earth's magnetic field. Several studies associate this anomaly as an indicator of an upcoming geomagnetic transition, such as an excursion or reversal. In this paper, we carried out a detailed study, and they say that they are not affected by anyone's money. Take a quick look at it. You can take a screenshot of it if you want. Here's the article, The South Atlantic Anomaly, the key for a possible geomagnetic reversal. Here it states that they studied several other excursions, the Last Champ excursion and another one, and that they lasted for about 640 years at the start. And it tells exactly how long it would take, about 1,000 years to decrease its value. And now they're saying that this one they believe would take some 500 years, would be needed for the directional changes to start and to be significant. The directional changes would then last about 600 years, with several lines of evidence point towards an imminent change of polarity, including the approach we reach the same conclusions as several authors. So there it is. So they're saying that they believe that a excursion could be underway or starting. Here it says something about reverse magnetic field patches and a boundary form near the equator and moving poleward, and this is the same scenario described by others, and blah blah blah. And it's a very interesting article. Here they're showing graphs and charts of this anomaly. Now, why does this anomaly look so long and this and that and the other thing? Well, I'll explain it to you. Because a planet, each time it comes out in front of its star, our binary star, each time planet Nibiru, the planet that causes the pole shift on Earth, each time it comes out in front of its binary star, it causes a 1,200-mile shift back and forth every couple weeks. As it rotates around its planet, we are getting this geomagnetic anomaly that is going in a figure 8 pattern like this, as a result of this binary star's North Pole appearing right where that number 8 is. That is the North Pole of our binary star. All of these earthquakes that they don't want to tell you about happened as a result of this geomagnetic low, an area where our magnetic field is being weakened by a vast amount. And all of these earthquakes occurred as a direct result of this anomaly. This South Atlantic anomaly caused all these earthquakes, yet you weren't told about it one time. Now, I've said that the North Pole was going to be off the coast of Brazil. I've been saying that for a long time. And then I changed my mind, and some other people convinced me that it was going to be in Waco, Texas. I no longer believe that Waco, Texas may be the North Pole. I believe that the North Pole is going to be somewhere in this range where you see this South Atlantic anomaly, where our magnetic North Pole is being weakened by an incoming planetary object. And it looks to me like our magnetosphere looks pretty decent. This I also took from the article. This is showing where our magnetosphere is being weakened on the front and on the back side. Now, this is a very wild picture, and we're going to try to get it all in there. But you can see where these guys are hiding that our atmosphere, our magnetosphere, is being affected directly, right where you would expect it to be if there was an incoming binary star. So we are seeing the results of our weakening magnetic poles. The front side and the back side of the areas that are weakening. So this is where our magnetic poles are being weakened by this binary star and its 7 planets. As they come in, we are undergoing some massive changes, and you can see that they are affecting a large portion of the Earth. So the forward and the backward sections of Earth are being weakened. You don't hear about that on the news. You don't hear about that on Homie's podcast or Homie B's podcast or Homie's C's podcast, because they all work for the CIA now. You'll hear it on my podcast, though. There's the weakening magnetosphere and the weakening magnetosphere, right where our, right there where the South Atlantic anomaly is. I can't even say the shit. They make this shit so fucking confusing. The SAA, the MAGSAW, the South Atlantic anomaly. Now, they want you not to be able to pronounce it, so you don't understand any of it. So you don't understand that we're about to get our ass kicked because of that and a bunch of other things. The other day, somebody crashed into my website and stole all my passwords, and I'm not on X anymore, but who's trying to authorize my websites from X to get into my accounts? Why would X want to get into my accounts after 13 of them were just stolen? And how would you access them? And what'd you have to do with it, apparently? Because somebody over there is trying to access my accounts after 13 of my passwords just got stolen and somebody kicked me off my network? I wonder who could do that. World Digital Magnetism Anomaly Map. Why would we need one of those? NOAA releases updated model of Earth's geomagnetic field. Updated? Why updated? Why would we need to update that? So something's screwing with our magnetosphere. Well, how could that be a cow? How could that be my tailpipe? That's causing that thing in the South Atlantic? Yeah, I don't believe that, huh? I don't think anyone else will either. So right here, we're having some little problem over here with our magnetosphere. Nowhere to be found on the news, but there you see it on all these graphs and charts. Well, boy, look at there. That's a pretty interesting looking graph and chart. I mean, who's drawing these things, man? Because, that looks pretty legit to me. Doesn't that look like a legit chart of some seriously effed up magnetosphere? Because to me it does, and it's their chart. Yeah, you're reading that right. A pole shift. Wow, look at that. And these dates all lead up to right about now. So everybody knows what's coming. Stock up and prepare.